Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Parents Engaging Parents Beloved Community Check-In. My name is Erica Beverett. I'm here with Miss May Woodley and Elise West. We're going to be talking about saving a couple of dollars, keeping a couple dollars in our pocket when we're shopping for food, stretching those food dollars today. So, before that, I definitely want to let you know that PEP's mission is to promote civic awareness and proactive community action based on the interests of parent and community leaders. We challenge ordinary people to identify their problems in their neighborhoods and cities, connect parents to organizations, and multiply their power by mobilizing people to bring out real and measurable change. So, what is going on in your neighborhood, Miss Elise?
Hi. Right now, we about to have big rain going on right now. It's starting to drizzle. Um, but I've been getting calls on this week's uh,
Mm-hmm.
pickup for Saturday and Sunday. I want everybody to come to Prospect and Marcy to receive their blessings. Blessings
Mm-hmm.
of fruits and veggies, fresh produce, some meats. I will be picking up Hello Fresh and some other goodies from Trader
Ooh.
Joe's. So come one, come all, doesn't matter where you live at. I'm here to feed the community as such, as long as the Lord has blessed it to be given out.
Well, amen. You
Very
just took
good.
me to church.
All right.
And when you said Hello Fresh, yes,
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
really
good.
good things.
And for those who don't know what HelloFresh is, it's a bag of fresh produce and herbs that
Mhm.
are in a bag with a scan bar. And on the scan bar gives you the recipe of the item. Those who don't eat meat, it's good. Those who don't eat pork, you can add your own meat, whether it be chicken or beef, or if you
Mhm.
don't eat pork and you want to add fish, you can add fish to the recipe. It comes with your fresh potatoes, fingerling
Mhm.
potatoes.
Oh, I like those fingerling potatoes. Those are so
Yeah.
cute.
You got fingerling potatoes. It comes with a whole
What
bag.
else you got in the bag? What else you got in the bag?
It comes with asparagus,
Mmm.
Mm.
fresh asparagus. It has fresh garlic.
Awesome.
It
Wow.
comes with potatoes.
Oh, that looks
Mhm.
really appetizing.
The recipe is right here on the bag. If you hit the scan bar, it will tell
Uh-huh.
what the recipe is and how to make it. This is
Yeah, I like that. I like that because it comes with all those cool fresh herbs. That's what I like the most.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So we've been working at it. Every week, my daughter picks one of the HelloFresh bags and
Mhm.
make a meal for us for at night. So the other day, we had a fondue day. She made
Oh.
Mm.
uh, cheese fondue. She
Mhm.
chopped up the chicken in cubes and sauteed it. She sauteed the asparagus. She sauteed the fingerling potatoes and
Mhm.
made garlic bread. So no
Mm. Sounds
forks, no
delicious.
knives. All we did was take our chicken and dip it in the Gouda fondue, and we
Mhm.
like that. So we had a good night and watched a good movie.
Oh, that was
Nice.
nice, Elise.
Nice. Yeah, that's so much better than going out at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You need to eat from home. So
Yeah.
what's going on, Miss May? What's going on in Bridgeton?
So in Bridgeton, I'm happy because on the way home, I saw gas for $3.98.
Oh, I need to come.
So
Ooh.
I was so excited. And then at another station was 401.
Mm-hmm.
So Bridgeton is very happy about that right now. Uh,
Oh.
so that is a good thing. And also, we're having our colon awareness luncheon and presentation tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We have quite a few women that have registered for that presentation by Rutgers and Robert Wood Johnson. So that's going to be an exciting time. They have a nice luncheon and a presentation and some giveaways, some gifts. So we're excited to have the ladies come back into the building for that tomorrow.
Beautiful.
That's awesome. And I just want to say to all of our Facebook family out there that's been participating in our PEP, tonight, if you interact with us and leave your name and your email in our correspondence there on Facebook, you can have a chance to win a $20 gift card from Wawa. You can get gas, you can get food. So please, we want to hear from you tonight. We have a great presentation in line. Erica's going to explain that to you. So please leave your name and also your email. So you never know, you might be a winner tonight.
Yeah, I mean, what better way than to be able to get gas, right?
Yes.
Just like you said, even though the prices are going down, they're still sky high.
Yeah, they're still high.
Yeah, they're still high. Oh, Melissa's in here. She said, thank you for bringing this to our community. I would like to get this. Thank you, Miss Elise and Miss May. Oh,
wow. Awesome.
Here you go, Miss Elise.
Yes.
Miss Melissa. You go,
Thank
lady.
you, Melissa.
So Miss Melissa is going to be on the list to be getting her gift card. Yes. And she wants to know, Miss May, how can she sign up for the luncheon and presentation tomorrow?
Oh, it's in the city of Bridgeton. Really, you can just show up. I'm not sure where you're from, but if it's 155 Spruce Street, Bridgeton, New Jersey, everything is free, no charge.
Oh, we're all coming. That's it.
All right. There'll be plenty of food.
We are all coming. Okay. All right, Miss Elise. Okay. All right. So today we have the Community Food Bank that has been rocking with us all week long. We have a nutrition educator named Alyssa, and we're gonna have Mark with us again. And Community Food Bank is here for an hour. For the last couple of weeks, and they are definitely a sponsor, and they're going to be giving us tips and guides onto how to stretch our food dollars. So for a little bit of background, Community Food Bank is known for packaging food orders for local soup kitchens and food pantries, purchasing and collecting food for distribution, and helping people in need through SNAP education, SNAP applications, and assistance to reach communities with limited resources, and mobile pantries as well. So they have a lot going on. Last year, they distributed over 85 million meals. So we are definitely thankful for Community Food Bank and all the work that they're doing. And, I thought that this presentation is so needed, just as we know that, food is definitely hitting our pockets in a different way. And actually, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the USDA Economic Research Service, predicts that the consumer price index for all food is going to increase from 2 to 3%. But they're actually saying that percentage went down from 2020. They said in 2020 it was as high as like 6%. So which is pretty insane. Mm-hmm. And I do remember that food being like insanely expensive. But even though that the price index is going down, we're still being affected because, think about how much money we've spent, and, a lot of people are dipping into their savings. I mean, it's just pretty insane. But Anyway, that's why we're going to be having all these tips to know how to stretch our dollars. And with that, I'm going to bring on to the platform. Hi, Miss Peggy, Alyssa, and Alyssa's going to share with us today how we can save some money.
Yes. Hello. Thank you for bringing me on. I'm excited.
Thanks, Alyssa. So, Alyssa, tell us who inspired you to do the work that you're doing right now in educating people around food?
Yeah. So I would have to say that it's probably based in my family and their health. For example, my dad has diabetes. My mom has had health issues in the past. And I think that I've recognized how much nutrition is so important to preventing, but also taking care of different health conditions. And I've always been interested in my own health from a really young age. So I really wanted to take that and use it in my work. And I also wanted to work at a location where I was working with community members one-on-one and really meeting the faces that I'm working with. And this is really just the perfect mesh between health and working with the community, is just being a nutrition educator with a community food bank.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Thanks for
So
asking.
I know that you have a presentation to share with us this evening, and we're going to put it on screen. There you go. Thanks.
All right, perfect. Oh, it looks like it's on the last slide. Let me go. All right, perfect. Okay, so thanks to everyone who's joining. And I see in the chat, thank you. I appreciate you coming on, Melissa, as well. So I really appreciate your kind words. And I'm really excited to present to you Stretching Your Food Dollars tonight. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to write them in the chat and we'll keep an eye on it. And feel free to engage throughout as well. We love to hear you answering on activities and to hear what you think. So to get started on the presentation, this is a little intro to myself. You kind of heard this already, but about the program, this is JSY, so Just Say Yes to Fruits and Vegetables. It helps to increase fruit and vegetable consumption and promote healthy living, including physical activity and healthy eating as well. But I also like to include mental health and wellness too. So always make sure that you're taking care of your mental health. Very important. And this is our Justice for All slide. This is just to state that we're an equal opportunity organization and we accept everyone in our classes. We do not discriminate based on race, religion, gender, color, language, or any part of your identity. Everyone is welcome in our classes. And we always start out with a little icebreaker. So something that you might want to type in the chat. What are some foods that you feel are expensive? And then you can also write, what are some foods that you feel are inexpensive? So you can take a second to think about them and write down what you think. And I see Miss Elise had put meats tend to be expensive, I'm thinking, right? They do tend to be expensive. I agree. And seafood, fresh produce. I agree. I see Peggy also wrote meat as well. I agree with those. Definitely. Produce, all produce is extremely expensive. I see from Brianna. Yeah. And I hope that today our presentation will help to find some ways that we can get produce that it's not so expensive, because I really do hear you. Getting that fresh produce can be so challenging. And snacks tend to be inexpensive. Good one. Yeah. Like things like chips, right? Pretzels, organic fruits and veggies. I'm thinking that would be expensive as well, right? Some of them that I could think of while you are still typing, I always think agreed, fish, meats, steak tends to be expensive. Organic as well. Yes, Brianna, I agree. Different kinds of berries, right? Like produce, like blueberries, strawberries tend to be expensive. Also, what about thinking of inexpensive? So we said snacks. I do agree with that. What I think of usually is like potatoes tend to be inexpensive. They're a really good veggie to go for. I'll give some more as well, but I don't want to give them away. I also tend to think of instead of getting only fish from fresh fish, maybe getting it from canned, right? So canned tuna, that's a staple in my house. Always going for that. And yes, seafood, when it's too pricey, definitely it can be tough. Canned food. I love getting my canned food, definitely. Also, bananas tend to be less expensive, right? Those are some choices that you might get are less expensive. So there's a whole lot of options. So thank you so much for all engaging. Now I have a little other quick activity to start. What would you buy here if you only had $10 to spend at the grocery store? Which of the following items would you buy? So I see lettuce and cabbage. Yeah, I'll get some maybe the greens, right? That might be a good choice. What else would you get? I would tend to lean on the frozen and the canned, possibly. For example, getting those frozen strawberries, I think tends to be a little bit cheaper than the fresh, right? So those are the ones that I usually go for. I would go for the frozen veggies. You get a whole variety for a lot less, right? Than just getting a bunch of regular produce. And frozen, it keeps for longer, right? So these are going to be some of the tips that we're going to be talking about today, but we'll go through a lot more in detail. And same in your household about seafood. I see that. And I see in the chat, your family of 4 would do the fresh strawberries, frozen veggies, and peppers. All right, great. Thank you for sharing. Awesome. So what we're going to be really going over today is how we can buy all of these things and do that on a budget. And we're mostly going to be focusing on those fruits and veggies because those are the ones that are going to add lots of color to our plate. So if anyone's seen this before, you can shout out in the chat if you've seen it, if you know it. This is called the My Plate. So the My Plate is a recommendation that adults and actually children as well get from 2 to 3 cups of vegetables and 2 cups of fruit each day. And you can see that fruits and vegetables take up half of the My Plate because of all the vitamins, nutrients, and fiber and antioxidants that they offer. So this is why it's really important to be able to buy these fruits and veggies. And this is why we want to focus on them when we're trying to save and be on a budget. And these are some of the tips we're going to be talking about today. And we're going to go through them all in depth. So if you have questions on each of them, we'll have a full slide on each. But these are the tips we'll be going through. So choosing fruits and vegetables while they're in season, buying frozen or canned produce for items out of season, buying unprepared foods, buying in bulk, looking for promotions in store circulars, buying generic brands, and planning your meals or creating a grocery list. And I see also that Melissa's seen it and followed the My Plate. Really great. This is one of the things that we really talk about a lot in our classes because it's a really awesome way to visualize a healthy plate with lots of different colors. So I'm really happy to hear that. Now, a little further look into the My Plate, we want to talk first about buying produce in season. So looking for produce in season can change their price dramatically. You may notice, for example, as I kind of mentioned, like berries might be extremely expensive sometimes, but this is usually when they're not in season. And buying fruits and vegetables while they're in season is a fantastic way not to only save money, but to get different fruits and vegetables into your diet. So you can think about it as, you know, you're getting one kind of veggie during one time of the year, but if you're changing the different kinds of veggies that you're getting throughout the year, then you're going to be getting a whole different slew of veggies throughout the year, and you'll be getting these different colors. And the colors in our food tell us a lot about the variety of nutrients that we're consuming. So you might notice, for example, that a plate filled with veggies and fruit is one that's very colorful, but one that's only filled with bread and potatoes is pretty bland, right? So we want to make sure we're getting all those colors. And when you have a changing seasonality of produce and you eat with the seasons, you're bound to switch up the colors and the fruits and veggies that are in your meals. So it's a really great way to switch up what you're eating. And I see in the chat that sometimes you buy in bulk, Brianna. That's awesome. And you plan your meals ahead. Great ways to save. And we're going to talk just about those too. So great. And here's something that we use often. So this is one of the handouts that we have. And if you did not receive it, then we can send it out to you. It's one of our SNAP Ed handouts. And it's a list of produce that is in season in the different months. So, for example, with summer coming or spring coming, you might want to check those months for seasonality. And you can check because the black line on the sheet is the months from and to how long it's in season. So basically, for example, if you're looking for apples when they're in season, they're going to be in season from July to December. So you want to make sure that you're buying apples from July to December so that you can get them when they're at a lower cost because they're going to be in season at that time. Additionally, if you're looking at strawberries, that's the last one on that or that first list of fruits and berries, you might want to get them between May and June because that's when they're in season. And when they're in season, that's when people are trying to get rid of them because there's so many of them and they have them in abundance that they want to sell them out quick. So that's why they're trying to sell them for less. And yeah, definitely, we can get this chart out to you. We'll send it to your site afterwards, and then the site can send it out to everyone, especially because you gave your emails. So then they can send it out via your emails as well. Awesome. And that's not even the whole part. So this is the other part of the chart. It's even longer. So it goes through all these different fruits, veggies that you can go through and have in each seasonality. Next up, we have, and if anyone has questions, please let me know if you have any questions on seasonality, and I'll check that chat. Next up, we have looking for promotions. So when you're looking for promotions, this is one of my favorite ways to do this, to sign up for store rewards. I love getting the store rewards card, especially for example, the supermarket that's down the block from me. We go to Stop and Shop. It just happens to be a walk away, and they're typically free to sign up for their cards, and they come up for lots of benefits. So if you use your store card, please put that in the chat. We'd love to hear it. So for example, I have a card for that supermarket down the block, and that's the card that my entire family uses, right? So the great thing about this is that we all accumulate points on the same card. And when we accumulate these points, the great thing about Stop and Shop, if you do have one in your area, is we can get points towards food, but also, I know we were talking about gas, we can get points towards gas as well. So with 5 people in my house, and sometimes feeding more if others, come over, like my fiance's always over, always feeding him, we're buying a lot of food. We've saved up to $1 per gallon on gas when we go to certain stations. So using those store rewards can really, really benefit your pocket. Make sure that you're signing up for the store card if it's free, because you can definitely get that money back. If it's not for gas, you might be getting it back on the food in the store and getting money towards food. So really, really great savings that you can get from that. So if anybody else takes advantage of that, I love to see that. Make sure that you're using the card. If you do, you can write that in the chat box. Next up,
I know I definitely use my store cards.
Yeah.
And we'll have like several of them, right? So I'm going to
Yes.
have Acme, I'm going to have ShopRite, I have them all.
Yes, definitely. Us too.
And
We have
now
like,
it's now it's convenient that you could just have them on your phone as well, right? So it's just a
True.
matter of tapping your phone and just scanning it. So that always helps as well.
super true. That is definitely, yeah, take advantage. If you leave it at home, you usually never forget your phone, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I see Miss Elise says she uses the card too. And Brianna said that she signs up for BJ's for everything, and it's wholesale. So you love the fact that they mail coupons. Really great. Awesome. Awesome. Love that. Good job, everybody. And I think we spoke about this a little bit too, right? So somebody had mentioned that you plan your meals ahead by making your shopping list, and you plan your meals early. This is a really, really good way to save money on your food shopping. So a grocery list allows you to really keep focused on the foods that you need to buy, and it can help you cut down the amount of time that you're at the store as well, right? When you're at the store, cutting down your time also can sometimes mean cutting down the amount you spend, because we tend to see things with our eyes and want to buy it right away, right?
Yeah, that's my problem.
Yeah.
And I'll go to the supermarket hungry. That's the worst.
Yes.
That's the supermarket hungry.
Yes. That is exactly another tip that I tend to give on this very slide is take a little snack with you, or, have one before you go, because if we're hungry, we want to buy everything. And believe me, I'm guilty. So I want to buy everything I see when I'm in the store and I'm hungry. So you can take a little baggie. It's all right. Take a little baggie, put it on your shopping cart, put some, baby carrots, put some pretzels in there, whole grain pretzels, bring something that's going to hold you over so that when you are walking past those chips and the cookies, you're not thinking about grabbing them and eating them right away. And you save the money, but you also save the nutrition. So it's really good. Mm-hmm. And just like that, it can also help you to eat healthier by planning your meals this way. So when you are making a list, you can make sure that you're making your list using that My Plate and trying to make meals that have at least 3 parts of the My Plate. So that's kind of a general rule, or not rule, but a general guide, is to try to put at least 3 food groups in a meal if you can, maybe 2 in a snack, because it's always a really good way to add more nutrients and vitamins from different kinds of foods to your meals. So when you make your list off the My Plate, you can make sure you're grabbing a little bit of everything. And then I see Peggy always makes a list and as well. So really great. And another really important thing about making a list, is that it helps you to buy the right amount of food. So maybe you want to make sure that you're buying the right amount of veggies for the week so that it doesn't go bad right away. So you're not going to make 5 pounds of broccoli this week, right? Instead, buy a quarter of that if you know you're going to make it. And that way you avoid running out of food, but you also avoid, throwing food out if it goes bad. So planning ahead can really help you to know exactly how much you need and to not waste on money or waste food as well. Now, next up, we have buying in bulk. And I see in the chat, protein is king on my plate: meat, poultry, and beans. Beans is a really great protein. Love adding beans. Yes. And if you, fun fact, beans is actually the only food that's both part of the protein and the vegetable group. So a really great option if you're trying to cut down on meat for any reason, and you want to get your protein in, you can use some beans. So it's a really good one. And when it comes to buying in bulk, Miss Elise says she buys in bulk. Really nice. And buying in bulk can also sometimes help with budgeting, since some larger items are cheaper. The way you can tell this is by looking at the unit price on the labels at the store. And you can calculate unit price. It would just take some math, but I'm not a big lover of math. So the really great thing is that it's put right up there on the shelf for you. It's going to be in that little orange box. So you can see the arrow pointing to the orange box. It says $1 per pound. And you can compare, for example, if you have a pound of broccoli versus a pound of broccoli that's fresh versus a pound of broccoli that's frozen, you can compare their prices and see which one is more expensive. And we'll look a little bit more on this on the next slide, but this is a really great way to make sure that if you do use a lot of fresh produce and maybe you do use a lot of fresh broccoli, then you might save buying in bulk because it's worth it for you in your house with your family or yourself and the meals that you're planning. But another note about buying in bulk is that if you're trying a new item or you're only making a small amount of food, it's better to try them in small quantities first to taste test it, to avoid throwing away extra food that you aren't going to use. So a useful tip when buying in bulk as well is maybe you did buy a lot and you don't need it right now. Try preparing it and freezing it. So you can cook that broccoli, chop it up, and make your own frozen chopped broccoli that's ready to go when you do need to make a quick meal. And let's see. So you said as a diabetic, I have to try to be careful about starch in the beans. Okay. Yes. Good point. Very good point. So you can lean on other proteins so that way you don't have too much starch. Bulk helps with saving a lot. Agreed. Definitely. And starch isn't everything that is cheap. Rice, beans, potatoes. Yes. But the good thing is if you go for whole grains, like for example, brown rice, if you go for, whole grain bread, those things with starch, go for those whole grains because they have more fiber and they do help to control your blood sugar when you have more fiber. So that's why you want to go for whole grains. So if you can get brown rice over white, if you can get whole grain bread over white bread, whole grain pasta over white pasta, getting that extra fiber in there helps to control that spike in blood sugar. But great. So we're going to actually take a look at the next slide that talks a little bit more about buying foods both by unit price, but then also buying foods that are not prepared. So when you are buying foods here, can anybody tell me which of these carrots, looking at the unit price, is the cheapest? So we want to look at that unit price that we just talked about, right? And as you are looking for that, I see Miss Elise put that a food sealer for fresh produce is good for freezing. Really good. And yeah, that's a good point. You can do your own frozen produce. I love that. And does anybody think they know, out of the orange boxes, which one's the cheapest? And just so you know, we have the whole carrots as number 1. And you could put 1, 2, or 3. We have whole carrots as number 1, baby carrots as number 2, and frozen carrots as number 3. So I see, Brianna, you are the first one in, and ding, ding, you got it. Perfect. So correct. It's the 5-pound bag of raw carrots. And we know that because we're looking at the unit price. So we're comparing them by unit price rather than by their retail price right now. So you're spending less for more if you're getting the whole carrots because you're only spending 70 cents per pound as opposed to the baby carrots, which is $1.99 per pound, and the frozen carrots, which is $1 per pound. However, of course, maybe you don't need 5 pounds of carrots, right? Because that first one is 5 pounds. So if you did not want to go for the 5 pounds, maybe number 3 is your best option because you're getting those frozen carrots. You're getting 1 pound for $1, and it's just it's about 30 cents. It is exactly 30 cents more per pound. So maybe that's the better bet for you. But if you did want to have the regular whole carrots and save that money, what you can do is get them, prepare them, chop them up, take the outer layer off and cook them and freeze them. And like we mentioned, you can put them into a freezer bag and have them ready so that you can use them for later, or maybe throw them in a soup later on, or put them with your meatloaf. So if you did want to save in the moment and really go for the bulk at that time, then you could go for the first option and freeze it yourself. And next up, so buying canned and frozen produce can help save money when fresh produce is expensive or maybe it's out of season. Additionally, some tips for buying canned or frozen would be to look for items that don't have added salt. So you might see low sodium or no sodium added, or low salt or no salt added. That's going to be important so that you can lower the amount of sodium that you're getting from your items, because we tend to put them in, we tend to put salt in at home anyway. So we don't really need it added to the can. It's usually in there for preserving, it's in there for taste, but it's unnecessary to have in the can. So if you can go for low or no salt, that's going to be a better option for your health. And I see in the chat, do you have any information about shelf life with foods that we freeze if we buy in bulk? So most foods, when you freeze them, can be in the freezer for about 6 months, but it depends on what you're having. So for example, if it's like a cooked food, it might be a little bit less. You would have to kind of look into the exact for each item. But typically what I see is about 6 months for most produce. Yeah. Good question. And then, oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, a couple of months ago, Miss Elise, I got some Brussels sprouts from you, and I decided to freeze them, and yeah, it didn't work. Trying to cook it after, it didn't work. So that might be like one of those frozen vegetables that,
yeah,
don't do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Did you try to cook them before and then freeze them?
No, I didn't. I just froze them. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you gotta cook them and then freeze them.
So yeah, it depends on the kind. So for example, like that can be confusing because, for example, if you have berries, right, you wouldn't want to cook them. You can put them straight in the freezer. They're ready to go. If you have things like an apple, if you have things like Brussels sprouts, broccoli, you'd want to cook them before. Like you can bake an apple, you can steam the broccoli and Brussels sprouts so that they get soft, and then they'll freeze that way. And then when you throw them in like the oven, they'll cook again.
Ah, got you.
Yeah.
Thanks for that tip.
Yeah, that was a great one. Yeah, I'm
I
happy
was
you
so
mentioned it.
disappointed. I was like,
No, next time, right?
yep, definitely.
That was a really good point to bring up. Awesome. Um, and then, so for other things for canned, right? I went back, right? I went backwards. So other things for buying canned, some other tips is when you're buying fruit, if you buy it canned, try to get that in water, canned in water, or canned in 100% juice. And this is to avoid added sugar. So things like high fructose corn syrup or sugary liquids, because sometimes they'll put added sugar in there and we don't want that. So instead, what you can go for is that 100% juice, which you know all the sugar is coming from the fruit. And then also water, of course, always safe going back to water. It's just going to be hydrating. It's a great way to preserve it, and it's not going to affect your health in any negative way. Finally, if you're going to buy frozen, looking for fruit, this doesn't tend to happen, but if you get it in any kinds of frozen, like sugary sauces or liquids, try to avoid those. If you get it if you get veggies frozen in any creamy sauces, try to avoid those to avoid added fats. And those are just good ways to go about it. Try to go plain whenever possible and add those ingredients when you get home and when you have that time at home, because it's always better to know what you're putting in your meals rather than having other people add it for you. And then I see sometimes I have to cook something about cooking vegetables, but I think I might be reading it wrong. But yes, you should cook some vegetables before you freeze them. And I see frozen berries are a great snack during the summer months. I agree. Super nutritious and delicious. I love frozen blueberries, one of my favorites. And I love making smoothies with them. And another great tip, I do this all the time, is trying to buy the generic brands instead of name brands, right? So here we have a name brand, we have a store brand, and you guys can put in the chat, which one do you think is going to be cheaper? I might have given it away when I said generic brands, but we'll see. Which one do you think will be cheaper? The name brand or the store brand? Which one will be less money? And I'll give it like a little bit to the right. Good. So I see to the right. And that is correct. My little Bitmoji loves that answer. So good. Yeah. So the store brand is going to be cheaper typically of a given product most of the time. Of course, check the price. But here, for example, it's 50 cents, about 50 cents less, a little bit more. And this is really great because actually a little bit less, I think. Yeah, a little bit less. And this is really great because typically when you're getting these different cans, you're getting the same exact ingredients and it's just a different label. And just because it has a name on it doesn't mean that it's better. If you're getting the same ingredients, you're going to get the same nutrition. You're going to get the same, vitamins, nutrients from it, and you're just spending less. So really check those prices, compare the labels, compare the ingredients, and when that store brand is cheaper, go for it because you're not losing out on any of the good stuff that you have inside. So now we're going to do a quick kind of review, but also activity. And we're going to go through and basically you're going to take a look at different things that you can do to save money. And you're going to say if you already do it, if you'll try it, or if it's not for you, which is totally okay. You can pick and choose what works for you, right? So I'll leave it up for a little bit so you can see, and I'll read through them and go ahead and write down the ones that you already do, that you might want to try, or that are not for you. And you can pick which ones work the best for you. You don't have to do all of them if you don't like, but if you want to, of course. So we want to know, will you try, or is it not for you? Making a grocery list and sticking to it, making sure you don't put too much on that in your shopping cart that you don't need, right? Keeping kitchen cabinets organized so that you don't buy what you don't need is a really good one. Eat before going shopping. Like we mentioned, if you're hungry, you'll be tempted to buy food not on your list. So have a snack before or maybe during while you're shopping if you're in crunch for time or you just want to. And watch flyers for sales and compare prices among stores. I know for myself, I already make a grocery list and I already keep my cabinets organized. I try my hardest to eat before I go shopping. And I try not to go hungry. I know sometimes it happens. And I don't tend to watch flyers, but I do tend to look at sales in the store. I think flyers are a little hard to find now, but definitely am comparing prices when I'm at the store and looking for the good prices when I can. I see in the chat that Brianna does everything. Awesome. And I usually shop hungry and buy lots of unnecessary things. I understand your pain. But I love to hear that you're doing the rest. And you're doing that one too when you can. And as you're still writing those ones down, I'm sure they'll come popping up. We have some more, so I'll let you think about some others. So these ones are at the store. And I'll read them out in a second. I just see some more chats coming up. So Melissa eats before shopping, grocery list, watches flyers, and keeps cabinet and refrigerator very organized. Good point too. Your refrigerator, keeping it organized is great as well. Yes. Everywhere in the kitchen, keeping it organized, knowing where those healthy foods are so you know where to grab for them. And when you're at the store, maybe do you buy unprepared foods instead of convenient foods? And for example, do you buy frozen vegetables instead of ones with sauces? Or maybe buying generic brands of foods instead of name brands because they're usually just as good and cost less. And maybe you buy dried beans, peas, or lentils to make low-cost soups and casseroles. So I'd love to see if anybody else tries that out. And Erica said that she'll try eating before shopping. Awesome. Hopefully we won't buy the things we don't need, right? That's my goal. And then I see here also less processed food, the cheaper it is. Yep. Yeah, trying to go unprepared. Prepare it at home. Making things at home is always going to be a good idea because you will be able to save. The less that the company does for you, the less you're going to pay. You know, if they're not chopping it up, they're not cooking it for you, you're going to make sure that you're saving a little bit more because you can do that at home. And I definitely buy things I don't need. Me too. Really great. Thanks for sharing, everybody. And I'm sure some more will pop up. And as we are waiting for them, I was thinking that we can show our recipe video before I finish up the presentation. How should we go about that? Should I stop sharing? Do I stop sharing, Erica? Oh, there we go. It went off. Nice.
Okay, thank you, Alyssa, for all that you shared with us. And we're gonna get to cook. Okay.
Yes, we're gonna watch how to make some apple pancakes really quick.
Hello, everyone. My name is Diana, and I'm a nutrition educator for New Jersey SNAP Ed. And today I will show you how to make a low-cost, healthy recipe called apple pancakes. You'll need the following ingredients: 3/4 cup complete pancake mix, 3/4 cup of water, 1 tablespoon of oil, 2 apples that can be fresh, canned, or even applesauce. So let's get started. Step 1, combine pancake mix with 3/4 cup of water. Mix until batter is smooth. Step 2, in a frying pan over medium heat, add half a tablespoon of oil. Step 3, add batter to the pan. Step 4, cook the apple pancakes until bubbles appear on the surface of the pancakes. This should take 3 to 5 minutes. And you can add more batter if you like. Step 5, flip the pancake and cook for 2 to 3 more minutes. And there you have it, our finished apple pancakes. You're welcome to add some syrup at this point. Just be mindful of the amount of syrup you're adding due to the sugar content. Remember, the serving size for pancake syrup is 4 tablespoons. Enjoy!
I'm actually going to share my screen one more time just to finish up the slides. Is that okay, Erica?
Okay, sure.
So I hope you enjoyed that recipe. I really like it. Believe me, I've made it before and it is so delicious. I've made it a couple of times. And, if you're looking to make this recipe and to make it a little bit cheaper, buy those apples when they're in season, right? So thinking about different ways you can do that. We have another recipe that's orange oatmeal pancakes and you use orange juice. So if you want to add a little bit more different nutrients, vitamins in there, be creative and make things with fruits inside, make things with veggies inside, and try to add more color to your plate. Remember that my plate is trying to remind you to add color to your plate, to make a rainbow on your plate, and to have enough fruits and veggies to get those servings, to get 2.5 to 3 cups of vegetables per day and 2 cups of fruit per day. And hopefully you got some good tips on how to save on both of those today throughout the entire lesson. Something else that's not on my plate is physical activity. Just quickly, the recommendation for physical activity for adults is 30 minutes 5 times per week. And the recommendation for kids is 60 minutes in a day. And remember, that can be anything that's moving your body. So it could be walking, it could be cleaning the house, it could be playing sports, doing something that's fun for you. So try to get those minutes in if you can. And if you want more information like this, you can also go to choosemyplate.gov, and there's lots of great resources on there. And if you do have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat, and I'd be so happy to answer. Also, after all of our sessions, we have this short and anonymous survey that's optional. So if you have the ability to scan the QR code and you'd like to try it, then you are more than welcome to tell us what you think about the lesson. And other than that, that's what I have for you today. And I really hope you enjoyed all of the information and you learned something new.
Thank you, Alyssa.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was very informative. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so did anybody have any other questions that are out there in the chat world? Yes, I see you, Melissa, saying fresh, clean, and seasonal. Yeah, I think that's pretty much going to be the mantra, right? Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Mohammed.
Thanks for coming.
So we have Mark is here with us. He's been hanging out backstage with us.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
And he's going to be with us on next week to do some cooking.
Cooking with Mark.
Cooking with Mark. It's going to be cooking with Mark. So we're excited for that. And we did, you know what, Alyssa, do you have the link to your?
Yeah, let me just grab it.
To that, and then what we could do is we could share that definitely, so we can get it out there to everybody that's been participating. Brianna said hi, Mark. Yeah, we're all looking for cooking with Mark. So what we did do is we put a survey out to see what recipe we would choose to cook with Mark, and it looks like by a long shot that it seems to be turkey tacos. Turkey tacos is coming in heavy as a win, and then also the French toast, the chocolate French toast.
So some good choices. Yeah.
So if you want to participate in this survey as well, I'm going to put the link in the chat so that you can participate as well, and we can get some final counts to see if maybe something else might come into the lead. And we definitely hear from you. So we're gonna just put that link in the chat for you all that are out there in Facebook and on YouTube. to participate in. And yeah, so we could hear from you because we want to know what it is that you would want to cook. Rihanna's movement.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people wanted also the seasonality chart, which we can make sure that we email over to you. So then that way you can share it with everybody.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So the first link that I just put in there was to vote for which recipe you would like to cook with Mark. And the second one here is going to be a survey from Melissa from Snap Ed and the Community Food Bank to participate in. She wants to hear if, we want to know, we want some feedback. We want to know how you felt about today's presentation. Did you get anything? Did you learn anything? Oh, you're having a great time. Thanks, Melissa.
That's nice.
Thanks. I'm glad you're having fun. We're having fun with you. And you're out. And are you going to travel down to see Miss May? That's what I want to know. Because
yes,
Patterson. I was like, oh,
I'm
she's
looking for her too.
Yeah, you should go down and engage. Miss May is great, and her community down there is definitely wonderful.
We would love to have you, Melissa.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna definitely share what it is that as far as what we're cooking with next week. And next week we're gonna invite you to share with us because we're going in the kitchen next week. So we're all going to bring our devices into the kitchen. We're going to be nosy and see what you're cooking. Hopefully it's the same thing that we're cooking. And if not, it's okay. I mean, we're all, it's great to be in the kitchen with friends and in our community. So yeah, Mark, did you have anything to share with us today? I know that you've had a exciting week.
Nothing crazy. Just make sure you guys vote and pick what you guys want me to cook next week, and kind of be prepared. If you got to thaw anything out, make sure you got everything thawed out, and we'll have a good time in the kitchen next Wednesday. I'm no Iron Chef, but it'll be a good time. We'll try and have a lot of fun with it, and I can't wait.
Yeah, me either. So you know what? I think it'll be a great idea if you are in the Essex County area. Run up top and see Miss Elise. She's probably going to have some of those ingredients on site, with her that you could probably throw in the mix like that. Use even if it's not in the recipe. Sometimes it's good to just improvise.
That's a great idea.
Absolutely.
You want to know what? Well, we have to see. We're going to give it a couple more days. It's looking like tacos. Mr. Frazier, it's looking like tacos. He wants to know what needs to be prepared for cooking with Mark. So we are going to need probably a pan, right?
Yes.
What else are we going to need?
For sure. I guess if there's any way that you can get them the recipe that wins, just so they know the ingredients and things like that ahead of time. You just want to make sure if it's like the turkey, you want to make sure the meat's thawed out and things like that. You can always dice your ingredients beforehand so we can kind of get right into it. But yeah, I don't know. You can get the recipe out ahead of time so they know the ingredients and things like that.
Yep, surely will. So if you fill out that form that I dropped in the comments, you could participate in that, and then we will definitely make sure you know which recipe it is that has been chosen, so that you could be in step. And if you want to hang out with us, if you want to join us live, you're more than welcome to. I think that'll be interesting.
That'd be exciting.
Platform. Yeah, let's do this. Come on, Melissa. And Brianna's been here faithfully. She's been great. So, we would love to cook with you as well. Miss Elise said
Absolutely.
turkey breast or ground turkey. That's what she wants to know.
Ground turkey, I believe.
Yeah, ground turkey. Okay. Yeah, or if you don't have the ground turkey, you could probably just maybe saute the turkey breast and maybe chop it up and maybe shred it. Maybe cook it in advance. Maybe it'll be a little bit quicker.
Yep.
If you like slice it really thin, sometimes that helps. Because I like to sometimes do like chicken tacos and things of that nature.
Yeah.
I just
That's
throw
great.
anything in a taco.
Yep.
Everything.
Yep. You can do anything and
goes in a
everything,
taco.
right?
Yes, Brianna's
Every
ready
day's
for the
Taco
tacos.
Tuesday.
Well, this is going to be a great experience for me because I've never made tacos before. So
Wow.
Awesome.
I'm really excited.
Awesome.
Great. Okay, we already know Miss Elise. I know that she's out there in Facebook world, but she said last week that she did not like cilantro. I'm like, what?
Some people think
You
it
have
tastes like
tacos
soap.
without cilantro.
Some people have like it tastes like soap to them. It's like
Yeah.
a gene.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so amazing to me. That was definitely a fun fact that I learned last week.
Yeah.
I'm like
Hmm.
everything, like cilantro and everything.
Yep.
Me
It's
too.
genetic. It's crazy.
Mhm.
So, Ms. Muhammad is asking what seasonings do you think we would need if we're doing tacos?
I'll try and pull the recipe up now to see specifically.
I would think, I don't know, I'm like a peppery person, so I would like cayenne pepper. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
I always like putting cumin in things.
mhm.
Savory.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's always a good one.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I love pepper too.
Mhm.
I see Miss Elise said that it tastes like soap to her too, the cilantro.
Yeah, that's just so strange to me.
Yeah.
Miss May, is there an so this is gonna be your first taco experience?
Yes, it's going to be the first time I've ever made tacos, so I'm really excited.
Wow.
I'm trying to think if I've ever eaten tacos before. I don't think I have.
Oh, this is gonna be great. You
Oh,
make
Yeah.
your first ones.
I've had burritos before.
okay.
Similar.
Okay.
Yeah, very
but-
similar. Yep.
Yeah, so
Oh, wait a second. Who else is gonna make? What else would you put in your tacos? Yes, spicy, turmeric and curry.
Mhm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, Brianna. Brianna loves her onions, her pico, her guacamole.
Yep. Lots of
Her
cheese, right?
lettuce,
Lots of cheese.
cheese,
soy ranch.
So we're
chipotle, and ranch. The works. Yeah, she wants the whole kit and caboodle, right?
yeah.
She wants the whole thing. For the veggies for the
Mhm.
tacos. You go to a fruit market instead of the supermarket is always cheaper. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Cilantro sometimes it could be like $2 for the whole bunch,
Yeah.
which is kind of like insane.
Mhm.
Miss May, we got a question, Miss May.
Yes.
The young Fraser had a question. They over here cooking, and they heard somebody say, "I've never made tacos before." So the youth is trying to understand because they know Taco Tuesday. So they
Yeah, right. Taco Tuesday.
Oh, okay. But I've never had them. I don't know why.
Wow. So do you think you
so far down South Jersey.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. So do you think you would like soft tacos, Miss May, or the crunchy
Probably
ones?
just soft.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What you can do, you can change the recipe how you like it. I like the
Mhm.
softer. I like the tortillas too. I like a softer tortilla rather than the hard
Mhm.
shells. So
Mhm.
yeah, you can, make the recipe how you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
sounds
Miss
good.
Melissa said, My family loves when I add these spices to their seafood. Yeah, like the curry and the turmeric.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love a good curry. I like the
I was
clean
also
of
going to
curry.
mention, like, with tacos, I know for myself and our family, we always do tacos and we always put all the ingredients out and let the kid, like, if you have any kids, letting them put their ingredients on themselves, it kind of gets them more exposed to different foods, to different fruits and veggies like tomatoes, lettuce. And if they make it themselves, they're usually more excited to eat it. So it kind of gives them the idea that they helped cook dinner. They're really just
Yes.
making their tacos, but it's always a fun time as a family.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's the
Wow.
best way to get them engaged with their
Yep.
food is for them to put their hands in it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I thank you for your time today, and we are going to be with you next week, Cooking with Mark.
Mark,
Please
yes.
let us know if you're interested in coming on the live. This is going to be like we're going to open the door. We're going to open the session. We want to see if you're going to cook with us, engage with us. I think that this is going to be super fun.
Absolutely. I
Yes.
can't wait. I can't
Okay.
wait.
Miss
Oh,
Melissa
veggie
said, "Hey, out Teresa, I can eat veggie tacos with lots of different ingredients. Yeah, the soft ones are yummy, but yeah. I like them all. All right, everybody. Thank you again from Community Food Bank of New Jersey, New Jersey SNAP Ed. Thank you so much for your time and all of your great information that you gave to us tonight. Please make sure that you please donate. Go to pdpnj.org, hit the donate button. We want to keep this thing going and great information that we have to share with the community as well. So please just continue to tune in and see you next Wednesday.
Wednesday.
See you next Wednesday.
All right. Have a good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night.